Well, I got it all laminated up. I was going to show you some more stuff, but my compressor is acting up and it wouldn't shut off, so I had to go ahead and do everything while it was still in place. But I went ahead and I applied smeared epoxy all the way across between line to line, between the front edge of the first 16th or 1/8 inch piece and then to the back of the last 1/8 inch piece, and everything is all glassed down, and then I had to mark this top piece right into this 1 inch spot that makes it the full thickness, and then so then I pin nailed it in place. So I'll just let it cure up tonight, flip it over, and do the same thing that I did just now tomorrow, and hopefully my compressor will be working right, that I can do this on camera. But if I don't, that's what the process is. It's just slathering on the epoxy and putting all the sticks on top. It doesn't matter whether you've got some joints, like in the front here I got a joint right here on the 1/8 inch or the 1/4 inch. On the back I've got a joint right here. Some of them are long, some of them are shorter. It's all going to get covered up with one great big giant, you know, it'll come out as one piece when you get done. So don't fear about it breaking in half. One side is done, the underside. So now I've been taking all my pieces and laying them out. And I have this piece marked up with all my lines, and so what I'm going to do now is epoxy between this forward line and this aft line, because there's a solid layer of plywood across here. There's some 1/4 inch in here and an 1/8 inch on either side of it, and then I'll go ahead and then pin nail them down. But I've got some scrap spacers down here so that the daggerboard is level relative to its environment, so it and also to keep this edge straight. Remember, you want to keep it straight. It shouldn't bend or have any deflections in it. Now it was straight when I flipped it over, but you never know when you put something else on that it may take on a shape. So let me go ahead and butter this up, and we'll come back when I start pin nailing all the pieces together. Well, I've got it nice thick layer of epoxy down, and as long as I know I have enough when my little serrated scraper here leaves behind nice trails of ridges. So now we can go ahead and put on the first piece, which would be this piece of plywood here. I'm going to go ahead and get in the way here. Let me put a couple pins in it to keep this thing from moving around. I also want to put a little clamp up on this end just to hold it down a bit. Okay. Now the next part will be in the little guy up in front here. And then the next 1/4 inch piece that goes in back here. And most of these joints I'm putting in are going to be up in the daggerboard trunk itself. So there's not going to be a whole lot of pressure on it. And I'm not really worried about it flexing or breaking. Oops, wrong piece. Should have them numbered here. Press it down with the old nail. Okay. that one I put down first goes on the top here. So let me go ahead and butter it up with some more epoxy and put that one on. We'll come back when I'm all done. I have it all epoxy together, pin nailed down, and I got some clamps around the edges just to kind of hold some shape, keep it from anything moving on me. This is the absolute last bit to make for this boat as far as layup, you know, cutting and layup. Now I just have to put in the slow fair shaping and then shape it down and then paint it and the rudder and coat the tiller arm with some epoxy, and this thing is out the door and in the water, and then we'll I'm almost done with the plans. I think I've got the tiller measurements to put up on the plans and a final check, and then the text instructions I'm going through again. You never know how much you need to say. It's almost with the YouTube series on this boat, the text instructions are pretty redundant, but it's nice to have something to set around to read and stuff. So the plans for the drawings are up to about 30 pages now, so in full color. So you'll be able to, if I say that a cross member, seat cross member, one of those 2x2s is a dark green, it is dark green throughout the drawings. So no matter when you see that color, you know that that's that part you're looking at. So I guess this is it until I come back to the shaping part, you know, or putting in the slow fair on this. So see you later. Well, you take it off and say, well, again. Well, we're back again. It's colder than the well digger's belt buckle out here in Seattle. It's probably about 25 outside. I got to the point where when I faired this in, I thought I'd be able to do some other things on camera, but it was so cold out here, I had to take it wrapped in plastic into the house so it'd be warm enough to cure. It just wasn't curing out here. It stayed tacky for about 2 days. So now it's dried, finally cured. It's warm enough. So I'll go ahead and shape it now. I'll break out the sander and give it a sand down with some 60 grit and see how it comes out. I may throw on another little layer just to fill any low spots in. So I'll come back when I get done with the sanding. But we're getting closer. I've got to wait now for some friends to come over and so we can lift the hull out and put it outside for the next step, because all of this stuff can be done with the boat outside. So we'll come back when that happens too. Well, I've got a rough coat or a rough sand with the 60 grit, and I've got to put another layer on, but it's too dang cold now to do that. So I'm going to go back inside the house. I've got a nice fire going, and I'm going to work on finishing out the text instructions. So I'm getting quite a ways along in those, and I'm finding I'm having to redo it. It's almost like I need to take the time and write a book on boat building. And but you can see how the shape is coming in. You know, like I said in that last one on the rudder, you get a pretty good indication of a neck of foil with the layering effect, and it would even be more so if I used the 1/8" plywood layers. There would probably be twice as many layers on each side. And I have a story and photos of doing that in Duckworks magazine. If you go in there and do a search internally on duckworksmagazine.com to find articles either that I've written by my name or else the neck of foils, and you'll find that story. So I'm going to go back in and work on the text instructions. We'll come back later, probably with this thing outside. So see you later.